everyone, today we're going to show you how to create a purchase power report. So this is what an example of what a purchase power report presentation looks like. Now the whole purpose of a purchase power presentation is to be able to display different offers that a client may have the opportunity to qualify for. This also can be used for realtors should they want to provide those options to their clients if they have specific questions in regards to those specific homes that they may be interested in. They have the opportunity to display this in a simplistic format so that they can make a more clearly and decisive decision. So as you can see, it has the 4 quadrants, but the main point that you really want to get across is the different offers and what those payments or what the payments could potentially look like to see if it fits within their budget. At the same time, you're also helping the realtor upsell because now the client can see again which options best fit their needs. So why don't we show you today how to create this presentation, and we'll get started as we speak. So once we get into Edge, this is the whole point. You're normally in the home section. What you're going to want to do is select new client. The whole point of having new client is so that you can go ahead and type in the client's name, just as you would normally. Okay, these fields you can go ahead and populate by entering in a phone number and so forth and so on. As you can see, new client, this would be a potential new client or a prospect in this case, because let's just assume that this client is not a returning referral. The other thing that you're going to want to do is simply leave it as own. Okay, so this way we can display those options moving forward at the same time. Once we've identified the client's first and last name, remember these fields are optional. You can feel free to type it in. I'm just simply going to use friendly name and type in purchase power. This will help me identify each report that I'm creating for my clients. And once I'm done, I can go ahead and push through. Now it's going to take us to the goals section. The whole point of the goals section is to be able to capture at least one option. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and identify purchase a new home because this is a purchase option. Once I've done, as you can see, all I'm simply doing is just pushing through with the forward and back arrow. This allows me to also save the information on each screen. Now it takes us to the assumption section. Now these two options are different, as you can see. One is currently in red and the other option is in black. This means that this field is optional. So what I can do is I can potentially enter in the property value. Say the first property value is $250,000. Hit tab, and as you can see, it automatically populates the dollar amount. So once I've captured this information, again, I can always go back to anything that is not highlighted or listed in red. I'm going to push through and save this information. Now it takes us to this affordability section, as you can see down here. The affordability has 2 separate windows. In this case, even though it is a purchase, what I'm going to do for for training purposes, we're going to go ahead and bypass this information. Now as you can see, again, it's not featured in red, which means that I could potentially skip it for the time being and go back to it. So for now, let's go ahead and bypass this section. And also we're going to go ahead and bypass them. I'm going to assume that I have already captured these questions from my client, so I do not need to restructure them, re-add them to these fields, because it will not affect my presentation whatsoever. So again, I'm going to go ahead and push through. So as you can see, it takes us to what we call the product section. We've started from clients, moves us directly to products, and now this is where I concentrate and spend my energy. So the first offer, let's just say, for example, it's going to be $250,000. Now remember, you can use any dollar amounts. This is not specific to every clientele that you use. This is just for training purposes. Also remember that in products, it's a 12-character field, hence the reason why I've abbreviated and kept it simple. Is this a refine? No, it's not. We're going to leave it as own. Now remember, if you do currently have templates already stored, you want to make sure you drop them in at that point to be able to use them as flexibility at that point for your option to be able to enter it in and make your job a whole lot easier. So let's just assume this client is going to use a conventional 20% down. And as you can see, it automatically populates the interest rate and the term and so forth and so on. Once I've dropped in my template, I'm simply done. I've captured all my red fields, and I'm going to go ahead and push on with the forward arrow. Now, as you can see, because I selected my template, my fees are also included as well, so I do not have to reinvest my time to do so. You can also feel free to use your product templates that are indicated in this closing cost details. If you don't know exactly what that is, feel free to select the help option, which will take you directly to our support center. You can then view and search for how to create fee templates. In this case, as you can see, we're going to go ahead and populate. Let's just say, for example, we can use a really basic option here. All I'm simply doing to switch fields, if I don't have the dollar amount, I can simply click on this percent button and it will allow us to enter in the standard option and populate the dollar amount similar to what you see here. Okay, so I've already captured my information. I don't need to add mortgage insurance. It's already, they're putting 20% down. So in this case, let me show you how quick it is to add another product. So now I can choose to save as a template, number one. Number two, I'm going to add another product in this case. So the second offer, let's just say, for example, they are currently going to qualify, or they're looking for a potential $280,000 offer. And that's my second. Now, I can choose to invest information, plug it in here, and filling in these fields manually. However, we want to save time. The whole point of this copy from button is for us to select it. Now, as you can see, here's my first product that I created. I'm simply going to select it and select this option. Fills in my information accordingly. Now remember, I'm not going to change the down payment because we're going to use the same format. Really, the only thing that we're doing is we're just changing the dollar amount of the offers. Everything else is going to remain the same. Interest rate, term, and a down payment. So for now, what I need to do is, you can see purchase price is still at $250 because I have essentially copied this product over. So what I will do is go ahead and change this to $280 to match what my product shows. Hit the tab or the enter key button on your keypad, and as you can see, it populates, and now it's going to reference based on this $280,000 option. Now the copy from option again allows us to fill in the information. As I push through, what you're going to notice is my fees are still in place, and so are the impounds that I've potentially already created. So I do not have to recreate that from scratch. Now, let's go ahead and create a third option. So now again, I can choose to save as template, and we're going to add a third product. Now, if you're not sure, you can add up to 4 different scenarios, and this includes any options that you'd like. So for now, we're only going to do 3 for training purposes. Let's go ahead and rename this as well, and we're going to name this and let's just try a $300,000 offer. Same concept, everyone. We're going to select the copy from option, select the name of the product, and at that point, the only thing we need to update again is just the purchase price to $300,000. Hit the tab or enter key on your keypad, and as you can see now, I have 3 different offers. In this case, you're not going to be able to see it for now, but once we push through, you will see it identified. So I've captured all my fields. I'm going to push through. Again, I do not have to reinvest any time in my fees because I've selected a drop down on templates. Push through one more time, and as you can see, here's the last page. The impounds are still intact, and now I have 3 potential offers that I can provide my client. Once I've captured these options, I'm going to push through, and now I'm done identifying and capturing my products, as you can see here. So now I have 3 different offers that I can present to my client and leave it as is. Now in this analysis section, one of the things that you're going to want to do is show your client exactly what they would like to see. So for the most part, because it's a purchase, what we want to do is, in this case, I'm just going to show them total interest that they're going to pay with each one. There's no right or wrong answer on these, so you can feel free to show them principal, total net worth, or total interest and mortgage insurance that they're going to have included with the option. So it's specifically up to you. Okay. In this case, yeah, so we'll just leave it as interest for right now and keep it simplistic. Once you've identified that, you can go ahead and push through to the next section. Now, obviously, they have 3 different offers. So what I can do here is, you're going to want to fill in as much information. Maybe enter in their current address where they're currently residing. Because obviously, you're not going to have a specific location of their choosing. So let's go ahead and you can just type in the address where they're currently in, and then move on from there. All this information is optional, so you can feel free to go back to it. Now it takes us to the presentation. We're almost done. Now, when you get to this option, you have the option to present these different offers that you now have created. However, if I do not want one of the presentations to appear, I can simply deselect it, and that product will no longer show up on the presentation. Special notes, simply just as what you see here. In this case, Texas insurance are included. So I will go ahead and delete the rest of it. And this is optional as well, specifically up to you. These next few sections that you're going to see, we can bypass. Not necessarily, it's really up to you. You have the opportunity to add additional content in these fields or make any fine last tuning changes according to what your client likes to see. So it's specifically up to you whether you want to make those changes. If not, continue to push through until it takes us to the end, which is at the presentation section. This is where we generate the link, which is through this button here. This link here, again, remember, this is the link that you're going to highlight, right click, and copy. And now this link is ready to go. You can go ahead and attach it to an email, paste it, send it out to your client, and you're set at that point. Now, one of the things you want to remember before you generate this link and send it out to your client is you want to make sure that you capture this checkbox and make sure that it is checked off so that you do get notified when the presentation has been viewed. So let's preview the presentation, and there it is. So here again is a purchase power presentation. You'll notice the client's information as far as first and last name, the address we've identified, and in this case the 3 different offers that they have in place. Remember about the highlighted features, that if you want to illustrate a little bit more further clarification, make sure that you implement these highlights in place so that your client can see exactly what it is that you're referencing to right away. Should you have any questions, remember that we do have the help videos in Edge. So if you notice at the top here, you will see this help option. It'll take you directly to our help support center where the videos will be in play. You simply just search for it at that point with these topics, and at that you'll have the opportunity to create and understand how this video works. Other than that, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.